Are you a forward thinker? Then you need an HR and finance platform that thinks like you do. Workday is the AI platform that helps propel your organization, your workforce, and your industry into the future. Workday, moving business forever forward.
REI Co-op knows when you're up at 4:30 a.m. on a Saturday for a long run and you're actually excited, not everyone gets it, but we do. At REI, we're here for people who get outside. Gear up for your next run in-store or at rei.com.
Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, Adam here. If you have problems sleeping, or perhaps it's fine getting to sleep, but then you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't get back to sleep, then I think you might get some value from this session. I was working with a client that would regularly go to sleep for about 4 hours, maybe 5 hours, but then wake up. And when they would wake up, they would do an audit of themselves. Sometimes they felt they needed to go to the toilet, or sometimes it would be something else, but they would struggle to get back to sleep once they'd woken up after that 4 or 5 hours. And this hypnosis session is all about sleeping for 8 hours. The 8 hours represents the ideal sleep time for you. It was 8 hours for the client. For you, it might be 7 hours, it might be 9 hours. So just consider the 8 hours, whatever your optimum level of sleep is. Now, this hypnosis session uses various metaphors, various levels of disassociation, lots of direct suggestions. And at the end, it really has the awakening of, if you're ready to go to sleep, then there is no awakening. You just drift off to sleep. And this is ideal if you're listening in bed right before you go to sleep. But if you are listening, let's say early afternoon, it can prime you to have a good night's sleep later, in which case the ending gives you the ability to awaken if you're not ready to sleep and drift off to sleep if you are. There's a bit going on here. It was calibrated to the individual client, but if you like the idea of having a full night's sleep, there should be something in this hypnosis session that connects and resonates with you. Normally, on a session like this, I would have adverts throughout and an outro at the end. On this particular episode, because it's a sleep episode, you might see the odd advert before the hypnosis starts, but you will see no adverts once the hypnosis starts, and there will be no outro at the end. And if you like a version of this, which has no intro, no outro, no explanation like I'm doing now, and no ads at all, there will be a subscriber version, which is also published, and it costs a few pennies per day to become a subscriber. It's £5 a month, about $7 a month, and that means that you get access to all of my hypnosis recordings that I've published without the intro, the outro, the explanation, or the ads. I think there's about 100 episodes there so far, and if you like just pure hypnosis, that's probably worth it because it's not that much and you get the hypnosis without any explanation. Equally, if you like the idea of working with me and this session doesn't quite do it for you, there will be a link in the description where you can schedule a completely free consultation call to have a chat about working with me direct. That link will be in the show notes, but you can also find it at adamcox.co.uk. Now, normally, I would recommend that you find a quiet place that you wouldn't be interrupted. For this specific one, I would encourage you to listen to it while you're in bed, while you've got everything organized so that if you do drift off to sleep, you don't have to then wake up later and do something like switch off the light or check the doors or anything like that. So ideally, get yourself ready to sleep and listen to this in the place where you would normally fall asleep, and then relax and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in, breathing in through your nose, filling your lungs, feeling your belly rise as your diaphragm expands, and as you exhale, feel like a sigh, a release. That's it. Breathing in relaxation and exhaling any thoughts, worries, or concerns. That's it. As you breathe in and breathe out, feel a wave of relaxation around your throat, your nostrils, your windpipe, all the way down into your lungs. Each breath takes you deeper and deeper relaxed. I want you to think back to a time when you were being read a story, perhaps even a bedtime story. And imagine being read a story about magic. I want you to imagine there's a story where a magician has magic sleeping dust. I want you to imagine the color, the density of that magic sleeping dust, the kind of sleeping dust that could send someone into a deep, dreamlike sleep. And sometimes when we hear a story, we can imagine being a character in that story. And I want you to imagine that you are in a bed, a comfortable bed, maybe a familiar bed, head on a pillow, feeling that feeling of being drowsy, of drifting. And I want you to imagine that color of that magic dust is subtle, but it's there in that room. And as you imagine breathing in deeply, imagine this magic sleepy dust going into your lungs and making you drowsy. And sometimes when people feel drowsy, they can imagine yawning. You can imagine their eyelids getting heavier. You can imagine the breathing getting slower, the heaviness of their arms and legs. And just imagine being a character in a story, that because of that sleeping dust, you drift into a dreamlike sleep. And in that dream, you have the power to visit other realities and other dimensions. Eyelids getting heavier, arms getting more and more relaxed. And I want you to dream about being able to travel through space, time, and dimensions. I want you to imagine infinite parallel universes. And in each of those other realities in this multiverse, a different version of you exists. Still you, genetically, biologically. It's you, but in each reality there is a subtle difference. And I want you to imagine drifting through space and time and observing a version of you that of every possible reality has the best quality of sleep. A version of you that sleeps within minutes. And when you do sleep for 7 or 8 hours non-stop. And when you do wake up, you wake up refreshed, rejuvenated. And on those rare occasions that you wake up in the night, observe how that version of you treats it as no big deal. And maybe you go to the toilet and maybe you don't. Maybe you awaken for a few minutes and maybe you don't. But it's boring, mundane. That version of you has a belief that it doesn't matter if you wake up, because before long, you'll drift back to sleep. And when you drift back to sleep, you will sleep better than before you awoke. There are some people that the best sleep they get are those minutes after hitting the snooze button on an alarm. That 8 or 9 minutes can be 9 minutes of dreamlike sleep that feels like half an hour. Which means the latency is they get back to sleep within seconds. So observe this other version of you and notice that every area of your life is identical. Same house, same bed, same everything, same habits, you like the same TV shows. The only difference is that version of you gets to sleep quickly and sleeps well for a long period of time. They have a different belief. They believe they will sleep well, and they do sleep well. They don't have an idea that they have to sleep well in order for the next day to be a good day. They just assume that they will sleep well. I want you to imagine seeing the ritual, the routine they do before they put their head on the pillow, like an invisible observer just watching. And imagine what it would be like to do what they do, think the same way, believe the same beliefs, have the same inner dialogue. And when you've seen that version of you in that other reality, having incredibly good quality sleep, then imagine on the very next night stepping into them. Experience being this other version of you that sleeps really well. Imagine drifting off to sleep quickly and how good that feels. Imagine having really good quality deep sleep. Imagine having vivid dreams in the REM sleep. Perhaps you see that version of you. That heart rate volatility is low, resting heartbeat stable. Then just imagine what it would be like to sleep like that. Imagine what it would feel like to drift off to sleep at 10 and naturally wake up the next day at 6. 8 hours of quality sleep. And imagine that happens day after day after day. Imagine living that way so that your frame of reference is that this is what sleep is like. Drowsy, relaxed, comfortable, sleeping deeply, and then waking up. But only after you are refreshed and rejuvenated. And paradoxically, that version of you is going to enter a dreamlike sleep, dreaming about a different version of you in a different reality. Now imagine that you are the version of you that sleeps well, and you get to observe different versions of you that sleeps differently. What if you become a voice to those other versions of you to share things that intuitively help you sleep, but those other versions of you don't know that? Because this version of you knows that there's nothing you need to do to make sleep happen. Sleep is not something you do. It's something that happens when you stop doing, when the effort stops. And you may already notice that the more you allow your body to be exactly as it is, the more it begins to do what it already knows how to do. That's it. Feel the weight of your eyelids and let your body begin to sink gently, naturally, as if gravity itself is assisting you. And you don't need to relax, you don't need to try, and you don't need to manage sleep at all. Give yourself permission to believe that sleep happens without supervision. Imagine projecting a thought to every other reality of you that you are not responsible for sleep, that sleep is not your job, it's not your task, it's not your duty to make tomorrow better by controlling tonight. And your body has slept successfully thousands of times without effort, instruction, or monitoring. And tonight it can do that again. And as you rest there, thinking about the versions of you that don't sleep as well as you do, I want you to access their reality and scan your mind to become aware of a part of you. A part with a good intention. A part that learned, for good or bad, at some point that if I sleep well, tomorrow will be better. And if I sleep poorly, tomorrow will be worse. And I want you to thank that part because it meant well. It wanted to protect you. It wanted to optimize outcomes. It wanted to help. So acknowledge that part now. Not as a problem, but as an over-responsible helper. Thank it, because the intention was positive. Even if it's led to frustration and interruptions and tiredness, the intention underlying it was good. But allow that part with that good intention to become curious. And what if that part can learn something important? What if the best way to help tomorrow is not by managing sleep? What if the best possible thing they can do to help sleep is to simply get out of the way? You know someone in your life where their heart is in the right place. They have good intentions, but whenever they try and make things better, they end up making things worse. And imagine that that part is within you. The very part that wants to help you sleep is interfering with the sleep. That part was trying to ensure sleep. But trying to ensure sleep paradoxically creates alertness. And trying to force or guarantee sleep creates pressure. And what if that pressure is interfering with the sleep itself? And what if that part doesn't need to work at night anymore? What if its job is finished before bedtime begins? And what if we invite a new part? A part that makes you feel safe and relaxed and drowsy when sleeping. And that old part, what if we give it a new, more effective role? A role where it can still help, but in a way that supports deep, uninterrupted sleep. Allow that part, give it permission to stand down during the night. It can release any monitoring, release any checking, release any urgency. Its new job is simply this: to facilitate sleep all the way through the night. Nothing else. All it has to do is to stop doing what it has been doing. No checking, no deciding, no evaluating. Just allowing. And now I'm going to speak directly to your unconscious mind. The next time you sleep for a full 8 hours in a row. You do not need to wake up. There is no reason to wake up. Your body remains comfortable, settled, and still. If your body shifts position, it stays asleep. If your mind drifts, it stays asleep. If sensations appear, they fade without needing a response. You don't need to use the toilet at night. Your body is capable of peeing in the morning. There is no need to wake up. And so your bladder remains quiet and unimportant, and any low-level signal is ignored completely. There is no need to check. There is no need to respond. Your body knows how to sleep through the night. And tonight, it does exactly that. Intentionally or not, at some level, sleep became a high-stakes event. Sleep is no longer a high-stakes event. Tomorrow does not depend on tonight, and your worth or quality of life does not depend on the quality of your sleep. Your success does not depend on control or coercion. Sleep returns to what it always has been and always was meant to be: a natural, effortless background process. I want you to think of an old pet, an animal, that when they needed to sleep, they slept. Babies can sleep 15 or 16 hours a day. They didn't need to learn anything, think about anything. A human and any mammal knows how to simply sleep. It's natural. There's nothing you need to do. In fact, by doing less, you sleep more. Think of sleeping like breathing, like digestion, like healing. It can happen without involvement. If you cut your finger, you can't make it heal any faster by willing it. It will heal in its own way. Your brain, your body knows how to sleep. And the more you stop trying to sleep, the deeper you sleep. The less you care about sleep, the longer you sleep. The more ordinary sleep becomes, the more completely it fills the night. 8 hours can pass easily, smoothly, and without interruption. Before long, you will imagine that sleeping for 8 hours is your default, and anything else is the exception. So from now on, each night is training the next night, and your system is learning that waking is unnecessary. Monitoring is unnecessary. That your brain and body knows how to sleep all the way through. Each night becomes easier than the last, as your unconscious lets go of all of the positive intentions that were making things worse. Sleep is no longer something you manage. It's something that happens automatically. No need to wake up. But if you do, no big deal. And now there's nothing left to do. Nothing left to think about. Nothing left to manage. Your unconscious mind can take over completely, and you can sleep now, deeply, fully, and continuously for the entire night. If you're listening to this to train your unconscious how to sleep later tonight when you want to sleep, then when I count from 1 to 10, you will awaken. And later, when you do sleep, you will sleep deeply, fully, and completely. But if you're listening to this and your head is already on the pillow, you are already in bed, ready to drift off into that deep, rejuvenating sleep. Then, as I count from 1 to 10, each number will simply enable you to drift from hypnosis into sleep, and you will awaken when it is time to awaken. The following morning, when it's time to wake up after that deep, rejuvenating sleep. Starting to count, so you get to drift to wherever you need to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.